well, but we have Soulrifle and Darai for our grand finals.
Also, shoutouts to Wisely for the $50 donation. Let's go.
Let's go Wisely.
Let's go Wisely.
That's my commentator right there.
Let's go Wisely. Commentator vibe. But we are going to be heading into grand finals here. 1, maybe 2 sets, and despite the 3-0 fashion that Soulrifle was able to win in the winner's semis, games 2 and 3 were nail biters and ones that you could easily see Darai walking with each time. So
yeah. And we have Darai coming off the losers finals win as well. And with these online tournaments, you can spend a long time waiting in grands. So is Soul warm? Is Soul able to keep this, keep the win streak going? Because right now, Darai is the first stock.
Yeah, definitely you caught him doing something other than trying to survive that back air. Soulrifle down that first stock and in the hole against Rano, and that's when it feels like Darai really gets a chance to open up. His game ones typically, or in losers especially, have been really strong by just opening up super fast and letting his combo tree speak for itself. Oh, unfortunately just dipping a little bit too low with the dive kick, misspacing the wall jump.
Yeah, I mean, a rare SD. I mean, I'm assuming he thought he had a double jump to cancel it with, but Soul will take that, still down, but has a combo going on the second stock. Already 40% tacked onto Darai, and able to make it back to stage. I mean, this is the position that Darai holds so well. You see that down throw, if that connects and you're DIing in, that's an easy up strong. But still, the DI from Soul has just been on point this entire second stock.
The mythical percent of dash attack no longer comboing, so you gotta be looking for dashing down tilts or maybe something like a down air as well that Darai has very much been favoring. But nevertheless, you find the parry, you find the strong, and you get to move on with that stock without too much consideration.
Oh, it's such a good mix-up from Soul, though. Just like short hop 3 times, I'm gonna kick the cloud, I'm gonna kick the cloud, and then just up Bs at your face off stage. Not able to actually convert off of it, though, so this is looking like first game might be going Darai's way unless Soul makes a big comeback right now.
Yeah, never count it out here. The cloud gets kicked into the Fortnite and forward tilt into up air.
It makes me so happy that other people are using that. Anyway, last stock here. Up air, up strong. Again, the DI coming in from Soulrifle. I mean, you gotta get some kind of opening right now. Just the back air, still not enough. I mean, this is getting ridiculous right now. Abs at 145. Just, yeah, raw fair from the edge of the stage, gonna close it out. But, I mean, Soul was doing his best to hang in there.
That's one of the weird values that a character like Rano has in comparison to some other characters of his archetype, especially across platform fighters. Rano's got a lot of stray hit power, especially in that forward air. It can be kind of tough to get into last hit situations with him. You have to not necessarily out-survive him, but out-hitbox him, which Absa certainly can do. But the floatier goat can sometimes have a hard time landing those hits, finding ways to keep position against how quick Rano can be.
Yeah, but no trouble here in this second game. I mean, it looks like the momentum was definitely starting to shift at the end of that first game, and Soul is keeping that going here. Can Darai make it back to stage through all this mix? Nope, just calls out with the back air. I think he wanted to, edge cancel, but Soul was completely ready for it. And this is first stock go into Soul in a complete reversal of game number 1.
Close every single step of the way, but each one of these interactions is not getting a ton of damage here from Darai up until that parry and the fully charged down strong at 88 after the hit, finishing out that stock.
Yep. I feel sympathy as a light character, man, because you cannot make an error against Rano in that position. But I mean, we already saw the first stock what Soul's able to do when he maintained advantage state. Really good pickup with the up tilt, but it's not enough. Soul gets knocked back off the stage, and they're just trading this edge guard back and forth between each other.
I was gonna swear that early air dodge was gonna seal Darai's fate, but Soulrifle not able to get a cloud out there in time, and it's gonna eat a back air to finish out their own second stock. 2 stocks to 1 favoring Darai right now, trying to go up 2 games to none and really cement his momentum here in this grand final.
Alright, Darai off stage, Bubbles in position, really good, just ledge dash to make it back on. Late hit a nair, gets Soul off stage, but you can't scrap with Darai around those platforms. He's just too fast with it. Look at that, almost triangle dashing his way to securing the first game. Like, Soul's got to find a pickup right now. The game started so well for him, but Darai is just untouchable.
Some of these Thunderlines feel desperate. The drag down Nair into the down strong will cement the stock. And you get to see the there's the triple. But
yeah, nice little animation. Shoutouts to the devs for still updating this game.
True. The last stock update is going to be short-lived. Darai is on a warpath through 2 games here in this grand finals.
Yeah, like it's brutal. It's brutal having Shovel Knight. I mean, I dig it. I think this stage is actually pretty damn good for Shovel, and I don't actually mind this matchup that much as well. You're able to contest a lot of Rano shenanigans off stage, but it's been a while since we've seen a Shovel Knight in grand finals of any tournament. So we're gonna see what Soul's been cooking.
I know Soul has quite a bit of belief in this character, like thinks they're a whole lot better than the general consensus for them is, despite how awkward Shovel Knight can be. But, and even then, like I don't even have a but, because the theory behind Shovel Knight is you're able to out hitbox Rano a whole lot more and turn a lot of these situations into trades or pure advantage, taking advantage of the fact that Rano doesn't really have a ton of disjoints to work with against a big old sword, but what he does have is the speed to blitz Soulrifle off stage. Now here's where the game really starts, the momentum nail on.
Yeah, and I mean, Darai's been getting a lot of mileage off of just being able to set up off stage, get the bubble, stall out, go for a side B, but Shovel can go way far out there and get, that forward air turnaround up B. And so it makes a lot of sense. In his way is kind of disrupting Darai and saying, oh, you gotta try something new, because look at this, side B forces an immediate up B from Darai, and so Soul went for a read, but if he just waited that out, that could have been the stock gone for Darai.
Getting it here, but underneath the platform, let the up tilt come out in time in order to catch Darai. The DI in mix up there, gotta be careful with that propeller knife.
He's just going all the way to the side of the screen. Good tech into the up air as well. I mean, this is where Shovel can kind of struggle a little bit, is when you're off stage, your opponent's on stage, they get like a free edge guard off your up B. But really good timing mix up there. I thought that was like a down B into the wall there from Soul, just doing everything you can to kind of mix up Darai's timing, and it's working. He's fully set up. He's got momentum, and he's got Ghost Gloves, which some consider to be the optimal setup. I'm a Dynamo Male believer myself, but you can do a lot with it. You can do, love into strong attack. You have a lot of, just dash attack into dash attack. It's scary. It's scary when he's fully online.
Being able to contest Rano's ground game, make it consistently, both with disjoints of the Ghost Gloves and just how fast you are, is definitely valuable in a matchup like this. Oh, Darai read the air dodge, but didn't get the spike. Gonna have to reset this, taking a ton of damage, but another healthy trade-off here, going over to the SKs, who've got a lot more time to work with, a lot more hits you can take.
How did that up strong not sweet spot? Soul is still alive here in this, winner's side of grand finals. He's at 140, so he can't get parried, can't just get raw Dacius. Back air not enough though. I mean, the armor makes you heavier. You got a little bit more survivability, and I mean, you gotta close this out now if you're Darai, because look, you're off stage right now against Shovel, who's in prime position to find the up strong, and Soul with the Shovel Knight takes his first game. He's on the board here.
You survive for so long, and while there were many times over across this top 8, we were seeing that survivability against many of these players, but it never ended up turning out mattering. It's the player that, with the higher damage, would just end up losing. But Soulrifle showing that, hey, that survivability can absolutely pay dividends if you're willing just to play a slower disadvantage and then swing for the fences once you get an opening, and that up strong certainly was a Hail Mary, but a well set up play.
And it looks like Soul's a lot more comfortable edge guarding Rano with the shovel as well, just because, again, you have that disjoint to work with, and you have so many tools to throw out there. You can just kind of safely position around any sort of, tech ledge dash and tech aerial that Darai wants to do in response.
Off with that jab, the back air, huge into the up air as well. So hard for Darai to challenge any of these moves. And the patience there from Soulrifle. Yeah, you can come back on, no problem. I know you're gonna parry, and I know you're gonna think I'm gonna swing, but I'm one step ahead.
And then just the full charge forward strong as well. I mean, Shovel is that kind of character that just... The shenanigans are always afoot when Shovel is on the screen. So that stock is going to get traded over. I think, yeah, Soul has enough to get the momentum mail. And that's pretty early on, fresh off your first stock. So this is looking, even worse for Darai here in this fourth game. Oh, down air into up B, way off stage. And the side B able to push the bubble back along with Darai. And now we have a full stock lead. And, oh, we have a Warhorn. We have a Warhorn. The disrespect gonna come out. It was almost connected right there. Soul's just spamming the Warhorn against Darai off stage.
Dude, give him a little doot. Like, you get all these positions. You're forced to interact with Shovel because you have very little means of changing up the angle or putting in these mix-ups. And the momentum mail just lets you cover so much space, able to come with dash attack into up strong at such a late percent, and then follow up.
I mean, I don't even know if it's disrespect, to be honest, because again, Rano has to kind of stall off stage if he wants to recover, and so if you're stationary, Shovel's got this giant spike hitbox that he can throw out, so this may actually be something that Soul sticks with for the potential final game here, because we have another game 5 here of our grand final set.
I make 2 in a row. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's a question of can Darai get the reset, because his tournament life is on the line, whereas Soul just needs this one game, and he's the champion.
Up breaks for both players as we head over to the Ethereal Gates. It's just such a no-nonsense stage. It has so much value for any and all characters. With that forward air barely lifting, and Soulrifle finding reversal off of it.
Ooh, up high with the up B, and again, this edge guard is just he's been able to get so many more edge guards. Soul has just been so much more consistent against Darai off stage, because Rano is used to having people be afraid of that up B hitbox, be afraid of the stall stuff, but Shovel doesn't really care. Shovel does not care one bit about that, but you do care about getting spiked in the face with Rano forward air. First stock goes to Darai. Soul just kind of chilling on the ground, goes for a down strong onto the top platform, but not closing anything out just yet, and this lead is getting further and further away from him.
He's gonna do one of the dust gauntlets into the jab, but that seems to be the value that a lot of Soulrifle has been getting a lot of value off of, just being patient in the corner, but the down tilt up strong instantly going to seal the lead for Darai in a really solid position because of it.
And it looks like Soul doesn't want the Warhorn. He had enough, but says, no, I need these gloves, but you gotta get a chance to buy them in the first place.
I mean, if you're not getting him on the stock reset, then you've got a long way to go in order to give yourself another opening to open up that chest.
Yeah, I mean, forward strong is good, side B off stage, but really late hit in there. Soul tries to go for an aggressive read against Darai off stage, but Darai's going high now. Darai does not want does not want to interact with Shovel at all there. Actually, a really good opportunity once he knocks Darai off. Says, all right, you're going to stall with the bubble. I'm going to take this time to get these Ghost Gloves. Good DI out there from Darai.
Off of nothing happening as the Nair Ghost Glove into the forward strong. Yeah, you know, deja vu.
Oh, what do you get off of this? Not much, but you're still able to pick it up. I mean, Nair and Jab are very good moves, able to get Darai off stage. I mean, Soul's just chucking out Nair, and why not? It's working so well for you. Last stock, game 5. We could see the tournament end right here, or we have another set. Good back air, but the wide side blast means Soul's still alive, but the falling up air into up strong means we have a reset, and we're going into the second set of grand finals.
What a hit confirm from Darai, able to go from charging the needles up, expecting Soul Rifle to go low, but then hit confirming off one of the later needles that hit the high recovery into the falling up air, into the up strong. Clean stuff from Darai, and as you said it, Bio, we have got ourselves a reset here, and it looks like Soul Rifle is content with the Shovel Knight. Looking pretty good in the first, winning 2 out of the 3 games it's shown. Maybe he can do that one.
Yeah, I mean, reminder, that was almost a reverse 3-0 with the shovel compared to the Abscess. So, like, may as well keep rocking with it.
See how it falls here, and given the fresh set, it's looking very even. 2% difference. Darai able to find a pretty solidifying hit, but playing a whole lot more defense-oriented, it seems like. Just taking the hits and then giving himself a ton of space, catching Soul Rifle whiffing with that jab. And Momentum Mail may be online, but Darai has the lead.
You had a bag. Literally dropped the bag. It was floating midair. Alright. Can Soul equalize? That up air is very, very solid. Oh, baiting Darai to go down low, which sets up this reverse edge guard for Soul.
Did he get the fish? It looks so good.
I don't even think he cares. I think he just wanted Darai to go down there with him.
Yeah, valid, right? Like, any sort of positions like that can turn into your favor with stuff like this, the SK's down air hitbox being so wide.
And that's the nice thing about Shovel Up B as well, is like the type of shenanigans Darai likes to do off stage with, up B, wall jump, fair, all of that. You can't really contest Shovel Up B. You have to wait for it to be done. And so Darai's not able to get the same kind of edge guards he usually does, whereas Soul forward air into reverse up B off stage and just buys right in Darai's face. Says, all right, you're not going to kill me off of this. And he's right.
You got plenty of survivability to work with here, Bio, but the back air plat drop setting up yet again, yet nothing doing. Man, the ability to take a hit. I mean, he didn't finish taking that hit as we get ourselves to an even game, but it feels like Darai has just had to go into this bag of tricks and this some extra attempts and some extra edge guards over and over and over again, expending so much energy to make sure that he can close out his stock. Meanwhile, Soul Rifle having a lot of that raw power behind Shovel Knight, especially fully loaded like he is.
And the thing I really like about Soul Shovel is that, like, he's really good at just holding space with the character. I don't even have time. Gets a double fair to up the off stage, and yeah, that's game 1 for Soul. But yeah, what a lot of Shovels will do is, like, they'll do aggressive back airs, and they'll do aggressive dares and aggressive side Bs and all of this, stuff in your face. But Shovel's real strength is just saying, I have these long-lasting massive hitboxes, run into me. See what happens. And Soul is really good about not overextending, and I think that's the big differentiator between his Shovel and a lot of the other people who have tried out Shovel as a main or a secondary.
He balances between using those hitboxes as intended versus letting you fall into them. Like, that level of spacing can be really hard to define in the moment, especially given how slippery SK can be late into games.
I think he just missed both of those pitches, but doesn't even matter. Gets back on stage, and we got those reverse hits a dare. Doesn't matter which way you're facing. Now Darai's off stage. Tries to get the anchor spike, but again, you're fine dropping this here because it gives you time to buy, it gives you time to do whatever you want. Down tilt up strong does come in for Darai, but we have the momentum mill on deck for Soul.
That's tough. Like, you had it's that those micro decisions that can be so tough in the moment. Like, yeah, purchasing as SK is part of the win condition, getting loaded up and getting outfitted for the situation. But when you choose to outfit, but it puts you behind a stock, now you've got to play the natural game, like playing with a deficit.
Ooh, finds the up air. Really well done. But now you're off stage. Can you make it back first to Darai? He has the top platform to work with. Still able to disengage, but no. Down tilt up strong, not enough. The extra weight coming in clutch here for Soul.
Just enough full stacks, but able to beat those out with the dust gauntlets.
Oh.
Chasing that with
no.
strong.
Okay, little overzealous there from Soul. No buy though. Soul has the money to buy whatever he needs, but says, all right, you're going to think I'm going to buy something. I'm just going to run at your face, and manages to catch Soul not ready for it. Or catch Darai not ready for it.
It's done a ton of damage here, given the time to purchase after as Darai soaks up some needles. Ooh, that was close on the high recovery, but the dive kick is able to get by Soulrifle just a little bit. Not for long.
Beautiful setup there, and you know, Darai, you have the lead, but you're facing a fully buffed up Shovel who's just throwing out gloves left and right. Doesn't matter which way, doesn't matter where Darai is. Random projectiles across the screen, and that's what makes it so terrifying, because if Soul doesn't know what he's doing, Darai has no idea what he's doing either.
Just gotta consume that horizontal space. That's been the MO for Soulrifle's Shovel Knight, but Darai finding the angle to come down with the forward air before the anchor was able to show up as well. Clean play from Darai to pick up the tempo on the edge guard at the very end there, bringing us to a 1-1 and bringing us to Spirit Tree.
Yeah, I mean, again, massive props to Darai for finding that opening, because you're dealing with such an onslaught of projectiles and long-lasting hitboxes from Shovel, so you have to find just the one chance to sneak in there, and Darai did that perfectly.
Spirit Tree is such a precarious stage sometimes, especially with Shovel Knight's tendencies for shenanigans, but they also give Rano these full platforms to set up on with down tilts or with any sort of these pop-ups, and Darai taking full advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, your goal as Shovel here is forward air, turnaround up B, because the side blast zones are right there and the platforms just lead into it. But you gotta find the opening in the first place, and we're starting to see Soul get a bit more aggressive with the Shovel, and we're seeing Darai capitalize on that as well. Like, Soul's not playing as far back as he was earlier on, and that's kind of been the story of this third game. Just, sure, you got a hitbox, but then you've just landed directly in front of Arana, who can dash attack you, who can do whatever they want.
Is going to set up for maybe something, but this is the danger of letting Darai have all this means of utility in the corners. His mix-up game on recovery has been on full display. Okay, Needle Storm into the rising back air, into the forward strong. That's actually going to close out this stock. Guaranteed the Galaxy for the best move in the game.
Yeah, it seems like Darai is not playing around anymore. Getting a feel of the matchup as things progress, and this is 77 off of the bubble. I mean, what more could you ask for? Go for a high bear, doesn't hit, get a low bear, why not? Bear. Sure, you're off stage, but you got 3 stocks. Doesn't matter if you get forward strong.
The Barrel Knife will set up, but this is an unbuffed Soulrifle, and I sincerely doubt that Darai is going to give Soulrifle enough time in order to gain any sort of resources, and his combo DI pivots have been so good against Soulrifle, because, I mean, you were saying earlier, Bio, the goal on stages like Spirit Tree is to find a horizontal combo that can extend off the platform to close out stocks, but Darai, both in that game and on the...
That thought's gone. That
thought's gone. I saw Forsberg.
I mean, Soul's been a believer in fours for a very long time. Before any of the other secondaries that we've seen, he said fours is top 2, I believe, for a long time. And he's well practiced on the fours burn. So we're gonna see how it does against Darai's Rano, which has just been unstoppable these last couple of games and still going strong here in the game number 4.
Just is all over Soulrifle when it comes to how Darai wants to pressure this offense. Gaining a big disjoint though certainly helps contest a Rano in any means, and while Soulrifle traded disjoint for disjoint, there's a lot more pivotability with Forsberg. You've got a lot more movement stats going for you.
Oh, Darai tries to snipe the Cloud as Soul's getting back to stage, but no such luck. But Soul knocked off once again. The extension off of the clone means that Darai finds the first stock here. Potential tournament point here if he's able to keep this momentum going.
He looks like he's playing ridiculously hot here, but there was no clone in there. There was no mix-up. It was just Soulrifle standing there, but with smoke. And it worked.
Oh, this could be bad. I think he has the double jump back, but just up B's back to stage. Now Darai in such a good position.
That early needle stopping, these horizontal needles in general, doing a lot of work, stopping the smoke spawn, clearing the smoke, stopping the clone spawn as well, just shutting down a lot of the mix-ups that Forsberg typically has in recovery, but then he comes back with a massive down air instantaneously, even this game back up.
This is Forsberg we're talking about. I mean, as much as you can gimp him off stage, that spike sends you down and out. So you DI in, you go straight down. But right now, oh, this is such a good spot for Darai. I think the double jump is still there. Soul's able to make it back to stage, but the reverse bear sends him off. And Darai's going so aggressive right now. It's good parry, but not able to connect.
That was the right one as well. He guessed right, and then the tech away from Soulrifle just to reset and gain the same amount of positions, but there's no smoke, and he got him.
Yeah, the needle snipe. This should just be a Dacus, but no, really good patience there. Soul tries to get back on stage, but rolls out, and it's called out by Darai. Dacus to close out the tournament, and Darai is the champion, your champion of Motorcycles Online Bash.